My name is Kennedy NJ, and I am very happy to present to you tonight the Dream City, Union City, New Jersey, which will be an option for the community to know the good things that happen in this beautiful city.
The city of Union City, a cosmopolitan city where almost all of us have seen each other. We are like a large family that through the management of our representatives, they help our citizens. And our people do volunteer work because they know that the city is run by a mayor who has shown that he is not the common politician, but that he works for his community. This program is an extension of information where we are going to have participation of personalities from the public and private sectors so that they can keep us informed of the community. May that be educational activities and everything that benefits us.
Good evening, Union City, the Dream City, Union City, New Jersey. As every Sunday, 7 p.m., we have a special guest. And tonight we have a very special guest, a young lady who is a teacher in the Union City High School. Her name is Olga Hernandez. She has a lot of information, general information, and educational information. Olga, how you doing? How you feeling tonight?
Good evening, Kennedy. I'm good. Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here tonight.
Very good. It is a pleasure for us, for the community, for the Union City, the Dream City, having you tonight.
And it is my pleasure as well to be here to provide to the community the educational system, the information about the educational system that we have here, the
Very
tremendous and hilarious educational system that we have in Union City.
Very good. I know you have a lot of information for the students, for the parents, and for the community in general.
That's correct, absolutely.
Olga, tell me a little bit about yourself. And don't tell me, tell the community, the Union City, the Dream City, Union City, New Jersey. Because every guest that we have here, we have information, but everyone has unique information that should be shared with the Dream City.
Sure, and it is my pleasure to share. When I came first time to Union City or to United States of America, that was in 2000, in April. And for the first time, I came with a child as a single mother. My parents brought me here, but they came before me.
You came from Dominican Republic.
I came from Dominican Republic, and before, when I was in Dominican Republic as a child and as a teenager, to come into the United States, that was not on my head. But my parents came and they decided to do so. I have a child, a young age, and then my father said, if you go to the United States, you're gonna have a better opportunity to raise your child. So I took it and I decided to follow it. So my father enrolled me and two of my other siblings in an English school over there.
Right in Dominican
Republic, yeah. Because
so you learn English in there?
A little bit. When I came here for writing and reading, that was not a problem. Speaking, obviously, yes, because we don't use the language over there. However, I could speak with people. I never used translator here. Nobody translate for me. But
I can tell you, that's the only way that when we come from different countries, just to not to be afraid to speak, to write, because when you need a translator, you probably will not learn as faster as you need it,
Exactly. And then that's what I did. And before anything, I'm coming from a huge family. We are 12 siblings.
12? We are 14 in my family, a little bigger than yours.
Yeah, so I'm the only one in the country who have a college degree. Actually, I have 4, but I'm gonna talk about it
later on,
a little bit more. Yeah, and then when I came, as you might know, that is hard and difficult. I had to work in whatever I could to raise my child. So to accommodate my child to do something better, because go to school, that was on my head all the time.
And how old was your child when you arrived to USA?
He was 6 years old.
6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess was in first grade?
Yes.
Tell me something, because you mentioned your father, that he was one of the person who tell you probably if you go to the United States, you're gonna have better opportunity for you and for your family.
Yeah.
It is very hard when we come here, especially the first years, because when we live in Dominican Republic, in Cuba, and Puerto Rico, you know, things seems to be easier than when you come here. It is a different story.
That's right.
How was the very beginning, the first days when you arrived to New Jersey, Union City?
In Union City, the first days in Union City.
If you remember.
Absolutely, I won't forget. When I came to the United States, the first time that I arrived in John F. Kennedy, New York, I just said one thing, and I keep it. I came here to succeed. That was the first things that I said. And when I came to Union City, and I still live in 27th Street, and that's the first street and the first place that I arrived, and still there. I have been living in 3 different places in the same street between Palisade and Central.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have the same experience that I had when I came. I remember I probably came in 1980, and I remember, I don't feel bad to say that I was crying like a baby in the airplane. But when I arrived, I came to Union City too, and my mentality was I came here to succeed. The same thing that you said. Because when you go to any place, if you don't have a goal to achieve and you don't capitalize, you don't do nothing.
Absolutely.
And I
That's
know
right.
you have been successful so far.
Yeah, I have been working.
And that's why you're here.
Absolutely, I have been working so hard for that, and the message that I want to give to the community and to our Latino community overall is that when we want to do something, we have to work hard. It might be difficult, but not impossible.
Yes.
So whatever you have in your head that you want to do, you need to work hard to do so.
Nothing easy is, I mean, the easy things that comes to our life, they fade away very easy too.
Yeah, I always say that you have to be well determined.
And you did the best. You went to school, you educated, and you have 2 master degrees, and that's the best.
Before I had the opportunity to go to school, that was not easy. I had to get a place for my son before anything. That when I arrived here, I arrived to my parents' house. But I said I had to get something for my child before I move forward.
Do they still live here, your parents, your
My
mommy
father,
and your papi?
Sadly passed away.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank you, and I miss him so much. He was my hero, a person that always was there for his kids. He raised all of us in a good way, and I think that we are who we are today because of him and my mother as well. Also, both of them, they worked so hard for us, and we thank God so far until now we are good people.
And to tell you the truth, when we have our parents as hero, I mean, it's a true hero. It's not like movie cartoons, Superman. I mean, good for when you grow up, but our parents, when they help us to grow up as a human, as a true human being, they are the perfect heroes.
My mother, she supported me and she took care of my kids for me to go to school when I decided to do that. Because when I came, I said I'm going to become educated here because that was my plan in Dominican Republic. And I know it is not the time, but I would like to know if I can count on you. And she said, of course, you can count on me. Whenever you decide to go to school, I'm here for your kids. And
that's why we call this program the Dream City, because Union City is really a dream city. And the majority of the population, we have a cosmopolitan population, people from all over. I believe that we have like the same emotions, the same feelings to help those who comes, and then we tend to help others that come after us.
Exactly.
Olga, I know you have different degrees, but I want, the Dream City, Union City, to hear from you. Let's talk about your educational background.
Sure, a pleasure. And yeah, when I decided to go to school, before anything, I have to take ESL courses, obviously, because the background that I have for the language
ESL is English as a second language.
Exactly. Yeah, was not enough. And however, I took the test in Hassan County Community College, that is my home. And they have 6 levels, and I passed the writing 1, 2, and 3, and the reading 1 and 2. Because when I took grammar 4, they have an opportunity for a student. If you pass the test in level 4, they give you the ESSET. And I exceeded the program. In January 2008, I started to take my associate degree, and I went for early childhood education.
Good to know.
Yeah, so I graduated cum laude with honor, with 2 children. By that time, I had 2 kids.
I know it's hard.
Yeah, by that time I had 2, because then I met the person with who I live now, and we have a child. So I'm a mother of 2 children.
And both of them, they attend to school in Union City?
Absolutely. I'm a parent. I'm an educator, and I'm a parent. And that's what I can say. A lot of things about our school.
So after you have your first degree, and then you decide to go to a higher level, and you have your first master's degree?
Yeah, when I took the associate degree, that I had my second child, he came, unfortunately, with health issues also. That was a lot for me. But I did.
I know, you're a very strong woman.
Absolutely. Okay. Determined. When I want something, only God. I go for it.
Amen.
Yeah. So, yeah, when I finished my associate degree, 2 years straight, I never stopped. I took summer. I did everything. So when I graduated from my associate, I transferred to NJCU with the goal to have the bachelor for early childhood education and a second major in sociology.
And by that time was Jersey City State College or already
No, Jersey City University, because that was in 2010.
I graduated in 87, and then I believe like 3 or 4 years it became as a university.
Okay. Yeah, and then when I transferred in, I registered both major, because when you graduate in Hassan Community College, that is the thing that I tell my students, my seniors in high school, that is a great opportunity for you to have plan A and B. I always say that to them.
The backup, yes.
Absolutely, because when you have this first 65 credits in Hassan County Community College, and you transfer to another college for the 2 years, you have more opportunity to have another or a minor or a major.
Exactly.
So what I did was that I registered sociology, because I like psychology and all those things. My little one, he was a little sick, and I had to drop my major. So I decided to drop the education major, because by that time, it was always like that. You had to take the practicum, and that was about to be difficult for me. I have a little situation in the middle that I had to keep just one major, and then I decided to keep the sociology major. My concentration was in human services in aging, and I took my practices in a nursing home when I did the internship. So I also graduated with honor.
And that's good to know. And let me tell you, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you're a person that, for those who comes to the United States that think that just to come they're gonna be rich and everything. No, you have to be like you. You have to educate yourself if you have the opportunity, of course. But things happens for a reason. But you have to sacrifice. You have to study. You have to educate yourself, and education opens all the doors in any place that you probably could be in this planet.
when I finished my bachelor in sociology and I fixed my situation with my little one, and then I said, well, I think that I can do more. If I have an associate degree, if I have a bachelor degree, I think that I can go for the master, because I don't want to have my education major behind. I want to become a teacher.
Sure.
That's what I want to do for
Sure.
real. When I was little, I was practicing to be a teacher, and I played with the dolls about that. And
So that was here.
Absolutely. And when I was in high school, I covered the teachers that lived around me in private school in Dominican Republic.
Wow.
So that was not a surprise for my family, either for my friends when they heard that I become a teacher here, because I always talk about
I
that.
believe that all human beings have the ability to teach, but one thing is having the ability, and other thing is to go to college and the ability that you have converted into a professional teacher. And for that, it's not that easy to say. You have to sacrifice part of your life, you know, and be just in the right place.
Yes, and then I went for a master, and my master is in urban education, concentration in world languages, and that's what I teach Spanish. And I teach Spanish as a foreign language for the students that born here, a diverse class from anywhere.
Very good. If you remember, I'm going to ask you something now. What is the hardest challenge that you have had so far in education? Teaching, you know, in the high school, in schools.
Teaching.
If you remember.
Yeah, and learning, I can say. Teaching.
Because the language?
Yeah, lack of language, because as I say, I grow a little bit. Still, you know, go to school.
And having a family.
Having a family, having a job. I always had a full-time job. That was not easy.
No,
and for me, remember, a second language learner, that I had to write papers in a second language, that you had to prove your writing 3 times and 4 times. That if let's say that you are my college professor, and then you ask me for a research paper, and you go to check the research paper, then you bring it back to me, I'm sorry, but you need to change it. I had to go back.
I remember those days.
Exactly. And then I had to go back, and I brought the paper again, but the professor didn't like
I can
that.
tell you something. I can tell you something. One of my stories. When I was in college, my first semester, I didn't know anything about English. Okay? And they used to call me, I was in the music department, they used to call me Mr. Kennedy for something.
Yes.
I thought that they were asking me something about music, and I say, "Oh, this song is in G major," because language barrier. I understand you. I understand you. But those things, those challenges that we have, those are the things that make us stronger and better professionals.
Absolutely, yeah. You're gonna hear that, and also people that don't say verbally, but you can read expressions. The facial expression, they say, "Oh, you cannot be here." I say, "But that is good for me. Give me a challenge and tell me that I can't, because I will show you 3 times that I can do it."
That's
Definitely,
a good thing.
Absolutely. Don't tell
Always
me that
being
I can't.
positive.
No, because we are capable to do everything if we try.
What about your most valuable achievements that you have had so far? Because I know that you have more goals in life to achieve.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and the hardest one was the one that I finished right now. Because when I decided to go back for the second master's, that I took my master in education, I started my job, which I love it. I work for the Board of Education in Union City with very amazing people like Mrs. Abbado. Mr. Benetti was my college professor now.
Mr. Benetti is a sweet man.
He was my college professor in the
He was here in the program too.
yeah, I saw him. So Mrs. Capici, a lot of good people, and I'm so proud to have Mrs. Abbado in our Latino community as a superintendent. That is
she's very good too.
Exactly. For us, we should be proud of that, because she is
This is the dream city. This is Union City, the dream city. Everything can happen if you are a good person.
Absolutely.
I mean,
very humble.
Yeah,
Yes,
you have to be. You have to be.
Yeah, and then as a teacher, I have been very successful because I get along with my students. That is something that is really highlight from me, from my administrator, the work connection that I have with the students, and Because the thing is, as a teacher, as an educator, or for anything that you do for the students, you always have to see the student as a whole. So the student and parents are number one every time. The biggest challenge that I had was the second master's degree, which is educational literacy. That was hard. It was hard to become an administrator.
I know. Wow. This is the good things as a result that you have, and then you enjoy it.
Yes, absolutely. That was hard, but not impossible.
Happy for
I got
you.
it.
Okay.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Okay.
Now they gave me 2 certifications. Yeah.
That's good. That's good to
Thank
know.
you.
That's good to know. Olga, out of the blue, are you a good cook? Because all Dominicans ladies can cook a lot. Good. Tell me yes or no. Do you cook?
Yes, I am. I cook. Yeah.
What is the favorite plate meals that you always think about? Let me cook this when I have guests in my house. Rice and beans, sancocho. What is it?
Sancocho.
Sancocho.
Yeah, with oil rice.
You have to invite me.
Okay, absolutely.
When the winter comes. When the winter comes.
Okay.
Not now. It's too hot now.
You are invited. You're gonna get it.
Yeah. Olga, tell me something about it. I understand that I'm a board member and I'm fully 100% involved in things that happen in terms of educational things that happen in the district. I know that you create a scholarship and the name is Hernandez Educational Legacy. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that scholarship, when I started as a teacher and I get involved in the high school community, which it was the opportunity given to me, which is amazing, and I'm so happy that they decided to place me there. And I understood that I had to do something for the community that gave me many things, too much, a lot. I think that I had to give back to the community all the time.
Nothing better than that.
Exactly. And then
it's not only just getting for you getting, you have to give back to the community.
If you give, you receive. And I will always be willing to help the community in any single aspect needed.
Exactly.
If I am asked, I'll be there, definitely, because this is a place that opened the door to me and nothing has been denied. I have opportunity to work with different people in many places. Very happy to do whatever I did. When I decided to become an educator and I was hired in the Board of Education, my first position was a lunch aide. I took it. Somebody told me how you
it's
gonna,
better
yes.
to start from the bottom. Okay,
yes,
so you
yes.
grow up and you
Yes.
start knowing everything for the
Yes.
future.
Somebody told me, why are you going to take that position? I said, I want to go to the Board of Education in Union City to work there. I want to become an employee in the Union City Board of Education. It doesn't matter what. I was so happy to do it for 5 months. After that, I moved as a substitute teacher. As a substitute teacher, I spent 1 year. Then I moved after an IDA, working with the special needs. Very good time.
Look where you are now.
Yes, exactly. After that, I become a teacher aide, full-time employee. And after that, I become an educator. And I'm here.
And
so
that's great.
happy to be an educator in Union City, the place that have all the resources needed for the student to be successful, because we have all we need to teach our students here in Union City High School and in any other school in the district.
Yes, yes.
So proud of that.
I know. In few sentences, the scholarship that you create, tell me about a little bit, just really what it is.
Okay, and the purpose of the scholarship, when I decided to do that, as I said, is because I wanted to go back to the community. Also, it is on the aid of my father, because my father was a giving person.
Right.
He was a farmer in the area.
Okay.
My father never lived here permanent until he had Alzheimer's disease.
I see.
He passed the time traveling back and forth, and he loved children. He used to have the children around us. They call him Daddy in Spanish.
What a sweet thing.
Yeah, my dad was a person who liked to give all the time. And since I became an educator, I said I have to do something in aid of my daddy. and at the same time to help my students and promote education, higher education.
And this is
them.
for the high school students, yes?
It might be for any person, but the first this year I did it for high school, for a high school student, and this year I did it outside.
Very good. Olga, tell me about, as professional teachers, are you affiliated to any organizations, belong to education in the United States?
Sure. As an educator, education is a field that's a continual learning. You never stop. You have to learn every day.
And this is one of the reasons I'm asking you this. Because when you belong to any organization, I know that you have to go to training, workshops, and things like that.
Exactly. You need to bring innovation and strategy.
Tell me the name of organization that you belong.
Yeah, one of them is the Hudson County Professional Development Community, which is Mr. Benetti and Mrs. Anna Valle was the person who brought me there, are the person in charge with the Hudson County Professional Development Community in this area. And also I belong to Flinch, that is New Jersey Foreign Language Educator, where I'm a mentor there. So
and this organization is for Latinos or for every
No,
teacher?
it's for every language teaching in New Jersey. So I'm a mentor. I train. I'm training a teacher every year.
Very good.
The new one from first year to third year.
I mean, you are involved in a lot of areas.
Yeah, so I'm
And that's
a
good.
mentor in that one.
And that's good as a teacher.
And also in AFO, that is the American Council Foreign Language for Educator and Nationally.
Olga, tell me, as a professional, and sometimes we are alone thinking about the future, about this and about this. Where do you see in the next 5 or 7 years as a professional?
Well,
I know it's hard. It is a hard question, but
that's a good question.
I have to ask you.
Yes, that's a good question. Where I see myself from now to 5-7 years.
Are you planning to move from here?
No, I'm planning to be here, working in Union City Board of Education in a leader position.
That's good. That's the only thing that I want to hear from you. And that's good. Look, we go to school, we educate, we sacrifice what we have to sacrifice. We deserve all the time to be in a better position. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's my goal. I'm going to work for that, and obviously helping the community.
And I like to see my people, my community, Union City, the Dream City, to grow up. Anything that the community, the administrators could do to have you in a better position as a professional, as a good professional that you are.
Thank you.
You're gonna be there.
Love it.
Very
Love
good.
it. I am in the best place to teach.
Good. Remember that we have one of the best mayor in the United States, Mr. Brian P. Stack, who is hand to hand in pro of education. And that's why you see the result that we have. I mean, it's like New Jersey, Union City, our schools, the teachers, the students, everybody is like a happy family. The Dream City.
That's right.
You can see it.
That's right. I can say that, and as a parent also, I can talk about the benefits that the students have in Union City. My son, for example, my oldest one, when he graduated from Union City High School, he took 11 college credits to college. That is things that parents sometimes maybe don't get information or don't look for, but we have those resources here. We have a lot of courses that the student are promoted to college level. Also, our schools have every single sports that is the children can play. We have a very amazing program in this community, and that is for the well-being of every student. The students have also food in extracurricular activities, so they can, when they stay in school,
they have everything to be a great professional in the future.
Exactly.
And this is about working together. The Board of Education, Mayor Stack, as a senator, as a mayor, the parents, the students, the community.
Agree with you.
That's what it is.
We have
That's the formula.
the best
That's
leader
the formula
ever
to have
in our community.
the Dream City. Olga, tell me something that maybe we didn't cover in this interview. I know that we talk a lot about information, education, your background. Anything that we didn't cover that you wanted to mention?
Yeah, I would like to say something else that I do for many years in this place. 17 years ago, I took a class to become a certified nursing assistant.
A nursing assistant?
Yes, I am a nursing assistant, and I will be. I will never leave it. I work with the seniors for 15 years, and still I do that sometimes.
What a beautiful background you have.
Yes, and then taking the certification allowed me to go to school and have a job at the same time, which I am so proud of that.
So we have that in common, because I work with in a senior citizen hospital.
Yes.
I was a counselor and therapist, and nothing better than helping our seniors.
Absolutely. I think that I work for two groups that we had to value a lot: the children and the seniors.
Sometimes we learn more from our seniors than in our own family.
That's right. And I love to do it.
Thank you for being in the Dream City, Union City, New Jersey.
Thanks.
This program is every Sunday at 7 p.m. in New Jersey, United States. And thank you for taking the opportunity, the time to come to the Dream City program to inform the community. I know that, being so busy teaching, doing this, the nursing assistants, all these things, I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here, and thank you for give me the opportunity to tell the community how important it is to become educator, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about my jobs and the things that I do.
Well, as you heard, Olga Hernandez, one of the best teachers of Union City High School, and this is what I say: when you come from any country, educate, go to college, sacrifice yourself, because the person who go to get an education have all opens door to be successful in life. This is the Dream City, Union City, New Jersey, a YouTube program every Sunday at 7 p.m. My name is Kennedy NJ.